Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today, we have some racing here at Watkins Glen for the Cup Series. Very excited for another road course race on the season, in our final season of this NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. But before we get into that, we have some NASCAR Xfinity Series racing here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway with Daniel Suarez behind the wheel for the Overton's 200, where he started as expected in about the kind of mid-pack area, just a little bit outside of the top 10, so he had some work to do to get to the front as usual for us here in the Xfinity Series, but he had a pretty strong car here in this race in New Hampshire. Now he's used up the inside of Justin Allgaier, but he really didn't get very far, unfortunately. Here he got towards the top 10, but really struggled to actually break through into the top 10 here in New Hampshire, and you're going to see that in the finishing results here in a few moments time. Now he was in a constant battle with the 51 of Clements, with the 47 of Natalie Decker, but would come straight through to the end of this race because he just couldn't get any further. He was up the inside again of Justin Allgaier behind the number 47 now of Natalie Decker as he came through turn 3 out of turn 4, and he would clear the 7 of Allgaier down the front straightaway, come through to cross the line in a ninth place position. So he at least squeezed into the top 10 there in the closing laps as Roman Grosjean would pick up the victory here from New Hampshire. So setting a good tone hopefully for us in the Cup Series now going into Watkins Glen, where we of course have won at before in our Cup Series career, and there's no reason why we can't win there again today. We are coming off of our first win of the season recently at Indianapolis. Last episode in Iowa didn't quite go to plan because we had a lot of issues there with my wheel. Actually, now I can confirm I had no wheel issues in this race, so we were okay. Now as we come through to start our qualifying lap, the goal was to hit a 1 minute 9 second .1 lap time here. I was confident that we could be close to that. Now wasn't 100% sure with the car performance, but sure enough we come through to cross the line with a 1:08.316 and qualify 5th place, which I believe ties our best qualifying effort of the season here for the Go Bowling at the Glen. So once again, stepping up our qualifying efforts, stepping up our race performances, of course, with picking up a race victory. And here we are coming into Watkins Glen today. I don't see any reason why we can't win once again, as Derek Kraus is on pole. Rounding out the top 20 is that Trackhouse driver of Josh Berry. Rounding out the top 30, Cole Custer, and down towards the bottom of the grid we unfortunately have our teammate of Tyler Reddick, and there you see Daniel Hemrick in the 42 car at the back of the grid. Welcome to Watkins Glen International here, ready to go green on the road course that opened back in 1956 here. Now used to host the Formula One United States Grand Prix from 1961 all the way through to 1980. Now a very historic track here, of course, that we are ready to go green for and hoping to add our name to the list of history at this racetrack here today, here in our final attempt at Watkins Glen.
No heroics in the turn 1, please. Give me a clean car here at the end.
Didn't know we were in Monaco. 10-4. No heroics into turn 1 now as we are ready to go green at the Go Bowling at the Glen. Now as you can see right off the bat, Austin Cindric and Austin Dillon, the two Austins, failed pre-race inspection for Cindric, and Dillon failed optical scanning station multiple times here as we get ready to take the green flag from that 5th starting position. So one road course racer already out of the mix. You gotta wonder, Lewis Hamilton, Chase Elliott, where are they going to stack up today? Not great qualifying efforts for them. They're in a battle with each other for the regular season championship, and it continues today into Watkins Glen. Now starting 5th place on the left hand side of the track, the green flag is out, and we are underway here for the Go Bowling at the Glen. Now Derek Kraus, Eric Jones, Aaron McLaren lead the way down into turn 1. You got Todd Gilliland, you got Chris Buescher all around here. McLaren very well making up the majority of the top 5 so far here in this starting order here as we head up into the S's for the first time. Now got into the back actually of the 66 of Sam Mayer, but Kraus, he might have started on pole, but Eric Jones is going to be able to take the lead here in the opening moments of this race. So I'm going to give the 66 a big push down this back straightaway here now as we make this long stretch down towards the bus stop. So you got to be really careful through here. If you make a mistake, brake too late, you're just going to slide right off track into the grass. So you got to be careful, like I said, through that bus stop, but at the same time you have to be aggressive. So it's a very hit or miss corner here. If you screw it up, you're in trouble. Now as we go to the left hand side, we're going to make that pass, and got now an opportunity to make that pass on the outside of the carousel there of Sam Mayer. So far relatively clean, strong first lap for us here in Watkins Glen through that penultimate corner down into the final corner. Jones under a little bit of pressure there from the 45 of Derek Kraus, but is able to defend well enough over him to hold on to that lead, as Todd Gilliland is in third place. Currently, the top 2 drivers have already won this season, including myself here in the top 4. Gilliland, though, still looking for not only his first win of the season, but his first career win overall in the Cup Series. Gilliland has been close a few times, obviously, recently as well, and has had pretty much been robbed from a couple of victories at this point now, as we were coming through to the final couple laps already of stage 1 now. Stage 1, 2, very short. The race overall pretty short at Watkins Glen. The road courses always seem a lot shorter in the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. So just trying to close in on the back of the 38 as well as the 45 and see if we can maybe gain a spot or two before the stage comes to a close. It better set us up here for the start of the second stage. Unfortunately, I lost time right at the end of the lap, so we start this final lap here of stage 1. Still in 4th place, under a little bit of pressure there from the number 66 of Sam Mayer, who's behind myself there in that McLaren Chevrolet, another driver who's still looking for their first ever Cup Series victory. Now let me know in the comments, for both Todd Gilliland and Sam Mayer, do you think those 2 drivers, or any of them, will get their first career win before the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode comes to an end this season? Let me know, because they are definitely running out of time, to say the least, now into the final 15 races in general of the career mode before it is coming to an end and we move on to the NASCAR 21 Ignition career mode. Now, I said it in Twitter that in NASCAR 21 Ignition, I won't be uploading career mode daily on Ignition like I do with Heat 5, where it's pretty much every single day, other than a day or 2 here and there of career mode. It's going to be more like every other day kind of thing, 3 or 4 times a week for NASCAR Ignition, or for NASCAR 21 Ignition career mode. So there'll still be NASCAR 21 videos going out, just not always career mode. So I'm excited for that game and cannot wait to see what we can do with it now as we cross the line, though, to end stage 1 here in the 4th position. So wasn't any work whatsoever to do to the car because it was driving good. It's just I need to get faster. I felt like I have a car capable of winning this race. I just need to be a little bit more aggressive, hit my marks, and I feel like we can be a strong competitor to win this race. But nobody's coming into the pit lane here. We will all stay out and get ready to go back green from the 4th position there in that second stage. And then, of course, at the end of stage 2, everybody will have to come into the pit lane as Eric Jones wins the first stage from Watkins Glen International. Back from Watkins Glen, you see that the track doesn't look the most beautiful or appealing in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Could look a little bit better, but the layout is at least accurate here as we're ready to go green for stage 2. And for the start of stage 2, it is time to get amped. There you have the amp segment, 1 lap down, 3 laps to go in stage 2, trying to make a move up the right-hand side of Eric Jones as we did get past the number 38 of Todd Gilliland there in that 4th spot, and now up into 3rd place we went. So a strong first and opening lap of stage 2 for us here, as it's going to be tough to pass Eric Jones. In the 45, of course, of Kraus was able to take the lead. He has won at a road course before at the Canadian race last season in our career mode, already coming up on that 1-year point from his victory last season, or 1 season point I should say now, as I couldn't quite make them move that I needed to on Eric Jones. We had an opportunity right there into turn 1, and I nearly turned him around, and that opened the door for Todd Gilliland. And as you guys know, every time we come to Watkins Glen, the AI can just unbelievably outbrake me into turn one. So it's so hard to be able to make moves into that corner. So you're just trying to survive for the first quarter of a lap and then build up or close that gap down the long straightaway into the bus stop and whatnot. So now to the final lap of stage 2. I went very defensive over Gilliland because, like I said, I know he can easily outbrake me. So if we just cover off the right hand side of the track, it should give us a better opportunity to stay ahead now as we come through the S's for the final time. Derek Kraus clearly has a way faster car than the 7 of Eric Jones. He just couldn't get past him in stage 1 because Kraus is already into the bus stop as we're just now arriving on the scene right here on this final lap of stage 2, trying to hold on to P3 and maybe even get second place from that Aero McLaren. Now as we're going to dive to the left hand side of Jones through this long sweeping right hand carousel narrow, nearly going off the track actually now as we come through down towards this penultimate turn. We're going to have a run on Eric Jones right here, so we're going to swing to the left hand side by side down into that penultimate turn. Will we have enough right there? You see behind us Gilliland ready to pounce, but not enough from him and not enough from myself either now as we're right on that quarter panel. Very defensive line from Jones, and I couldn't quite pounce on that opportunity, so we're not going to have anything on the exit. Kraus wins stage 2. Jones will hold us off for a second place finish, and we're going to cross the line here in P3. So, I mean, nonetheless, at the end of the day, a very strong stage 2, setting us up really, really well, actually, for this third and a final stage here from the Watkins Glen track. So, everybody coming into the pit lane here for 2 cans of fuel, as well as 4 fresh tires. No adjustments to make to the car once again as it was driving fine. It's just down to me trying to actually get faster, and I think we still have the speed capable of winning this race here as we get ready for stage 3 as Derek Kraus wins stage 2 from Watkins Glen. Ready to go green for the start of the third and final stage here from Watkins Glen International. Starting from the third position out of the pit lane, we were in the exact same spot, of course, where we came in. So on the left-hand side of the track, Kraus, Jones, your top 2 is a green flag is out. 10 laps remain here from Watkins Glen. Now we can make it to the end of this race on fuel, so we will not have to worry about coming into the pit lane here. Now immediately at a turn 1, not a good restart for Kraus as Jones is able to get clear of him, which honestly might be a really good thing for us now because we saw how Kraus had an extremely tough time passing Jones in that first stage. So this is going to be an opportunity for myself to potentially attack on that 45 car, and here we go to the left hand side down this back straightaway and immediately clear on that number 45 2311 Racing driver of Derek Kraus down into the bus stop right to the back bumper of the number 7 of Eric Jones. We're going to get aggressive again there to the right hand side. I actually did not mean to make that aggressive move right there. It just kind of happened naturally, and next thing you know, we are clear through the carousel, and Jones is under attack now from the 45 of Derek Kraus. So up into the lead we go.
New leader, the 6 car.
And there you hear it out in front of the pack now as we came through to lap 16 down into turn 1. I realized real quick the 45 of Kraus was able to get clear of the 7 of Jones, and he was putting on a bunch of pressure. And then I actually make a mistake into the bus stop there. Outbrake myself sideways. We go off the curbs. We save it there after nearly losing it 2-3 times. And we would hold off the 45 for the time being, but down the front straightaway, he was right on my left rear quarter panel and would be able to just unbelievably outbrake me again into turn 1. Then I actually overshoot the corner because I was trying to brake so late. Now we're 3 wide for the lead with the 45 and the 38 side by side into the S's. Who is going to back out? Nobody is going to back out now as we're going to be 3 wide nearly again. There's 84 of Busher trying to make a move to the right hand side. So now Gilliland to the lead now as we're right on that back bumper of the 45 of Derek Kraus at his side. We're just going to push him so we can get ahead of the 84 of Busher. And sure enough, it works, and I accidentally outbrake myself again into the bus stop. And instead of running the 45 over, I pulled to the right, and actually, thankfully, there was enough of a hole there for me to get past him. So all of a sudden, we're up into second in these closing laps of this race. We might have blown away the lead, but we're back in it there. But now you see Kraus would actually get back past me to turn 1. He was just unbelievably good on the braking into turn 1. So I was back down to third just as quick as we got up to second here in these closing laps. Now 6 laps to go from Watkins Glen. We can't waste too much time behind this 45, and I was trying to get the opportunity to pass him back here, but by the time I would get to to him into the bus stop, it was too late to really try and make a move and safely go on there side by side, in my opinion. So we're going to have to try and do it like this right here. Go around the left-hand side here, the long way around through the carousel. You got to try and pinch him down like this, and sure enough, it works in our favor. We clear again the number 45 of Derek Wells with the final 5 laps underway, coming to 4 laps to go. And now as we were approaching 3 laps to go, I realized, doing some math here with the gaps, we need to gain approximately half a second per lap to get to that 38's back bumper by the final probably turn of this race. So 1.5 seconds, and then by the time we come through towards the end of 3 laps to go, approaching 2 laps to go, we had made up that half a second, and actually 6/10 of a second here as we went down into that penultimate turn. So we were making up the time that we needed. By the time we did cross the line, we had gained exactly half a second that lap. So we were right on the money of what we needed to be gaining here as we go down into turn 1. 2 laps to go now. I make a mistake right there on the exit of turn 1, but it was okay there. It wasn't too bad, but we did lose a little bit of time, but like I said, it wasn't too severe. So now into the bus stop here, closing in a bunch on that 38, being very aggressive at this point. Only a lap and a half to go in Watkins Glen. The 38 of Todd Gilliland looking for his first Cup Series victory in his career. I'm looking for my second win on the season and 5 additional playoff points, which could go a very long way. And we're about to find out who's about to come out on top here, as we do have a lot more experience racing for wins on road courses compared to Todd Gilliland. Final lap underway. We're going to need a very, very strong final lap here to get to that back of the 38, but based off the math, if we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to get to his back bumper within the final couple of corners here. So we just got to make sure we nail the S's, and we did exactly that. So now we just need a good run down the straightaway where we already gain a little bit of time. Can we even maybe pick up the draft from the 38? We do, sure enough, down into the bus stop. So even closer, within half a second at this point. 4 car lengths, 3 car lengths to the number 38 car, down into the carousel for the final time here. We're going to immediately get to his back bumper to the left-hand side, trying to go around the long way, but then we back up the exit and get a really, really good launch here down this final straightaway here before we get to the front stretch for the race victory. Now within 2 car lengths now to the back bumper of the 38 into the penultimate corner. Not close enough right there. There's only one option left. We're going to have to move the 38 car of Todd Gilliland down into the final corner. We're going to get to his back bumper and move the 38 of Gilliland side by side out of the final turn here. Coming to the line, it's going to be a photo finish, but it's going to be just barely us winning in Watkins Glen as we pick up our second win on the season and second win in the last 3 races.
Do me a solid here and burn that sucker to the ground.
Don't have to worry about doing a burnout over bricks here today at Watkins Glen now, as we have done that exact move before. We did that to Lewis Hamilton at Mid-Ohio last season, where I moved him in the final turn, and I knew that the favors were in our park, or our ballpark right there going into that final corner, because I had experience with moving someone for a win at a road course. So, might not be the most popular move, but at the end of the day, I don't care if Gilliland is going for his first career win. We need as many playoff points as we possibly can get. We don't know how many more opportunities we're going to have to win races in this NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. So very happy to pick up that race victory, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that one as well. It came right down to the end. Overall, a very, very calm race here from Watkins Glen International, made for, I think, one of the shortest videos we've had on the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode, because not a whole lot happened. So as always, if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. There you see the playoff grid once again. Reddick has some work to do, and so does Christopher Bell going into Michigan. Just 4 races left in the regular season, and we have my home track of Canada coming up after Michigan. So I'm excited for that one. There, as you see, the rest of the grid. But before we end it, just want to say thank you to the Go On Racing members of MJ, Joseph 9001, Timothy Arline, Hayes Gaming, Brett Durward, Dark Gengar Gaming, AJ Vistur, Russell Dixon, Kenneth Barnett, Dana9302, Speed Demon 341, Ellis Emery, as well as Jay Fritz. I appreciate you guys' support so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.